Meeting on Friday, May 3rd at 1:10 p.m. in the church parlor. Here's some information you will need to be responsible for before that time. First, wanted to remind you that we are purchasing Chromebooks for our students in 3rd grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade next year. The 6th, 7th, and 3rd graders will then move these devices up with them as they go to 4th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and we'll continue purchasing every year for 3rd and 6th grade, yes. Also, please remember they're going to belong to the students and not the school. However, the school will have a management device that will allow us to push apps out to those devices, whether they're at the child's home or at school. If the Chromebooks are damaged, then the students are going to bear the burden of that cost. We just wanted to let you know that teachers and staffs may purchase one if they'd like. When we send in our order, you'll need to let Catherine know if you're interested. We think right now they're probably going to run about $213, and they're relatively small. But if you want to order a Chromebook that is like the ones the students are going to receive, we can do that for you. Just let Catherine know. Just wanted to visit with you about professionalism, just as a general reminder. We always need to keep professionalism at the forefront whenever we're dealing with students or with parents. Ms. Tomashik did speak with parents and went over every recommendation and condition that was included in an enrollment contract this year. And I just want to remind you, those recommendations and conditions are put there to benefit the child. Recommendations are just saying, hey, this is really, your child needs to work on this in the summer in order to be successful in the next grade. Conditions are a little different. Conditions are put in place because that child must reassess in order to gain enrollment. And Ms. Tomasic was very clear with them about that. The conditions put in place are quantitative, so there is a way to actually gauge if the student has made progress. And Ms. Tomashik and I will be reassessing those students that have conditions at the end of July. But please just remember, those recommendations are there to help the students, be their best selves. They're not something to discuss or gossip about or anything like that. They're really just there for the student. And I know you know that, but we're a small group and we're a tight-knit family, and sometimes we tend to talk about things that maybe we shouldn't. So it's just a reminder. Currently, the only open faculty positions we have are a PE teacher / athletic director and a PE aide. I have interviewed some people for a math position, and I think I will have that set here shortly. So if you know of anybody who wants to be a PE teacher or PE aide, please send them to us. Ideally, we do want a male coach if possible to be a balance and to do boys athletics. If we hire somebody full-time, the accreditation standards require that they either have a degree in physical education or that they be certified as a teacher. Did want to discuss some lunchroom policies and procedures with you. As you know, we are now on our 3rd cafeteria manager this year. And again, just like I asked about 6 weeks ago, we need a little grace in this area, please. I've heard, and other people have overheard, some complaining and some griping, and you need to understand that Miss Odom is doing the very best job she can with what she has right now. Lunch policies in the past couple of years have not been followed as stringently as they were prior, and we have asked Miss Odom to start returning to the established policies, start tightening things up again. And what that means is that children who do not order ahead of time will not have a hot lunch. So what was happening in the past was a great deal many more lunches were being ordered than were needed. And because of that, the lunchroom actually ran at a deficit last year for the first time ever. And that can't happen in the future. So we have asked her, so for example, today's meal, the Wednesday meal, she ordered 22 extra lunches and still ran out of food. And what that means is, teachers, if you don't order ahead of time, then you may not have a plate that day. The other thing I want you to know is that the students will get their plates first, and then the teachers will get them after the students do. It's difficult for them to stop serving student portions and then serve a teacher portion and then go back to serving the student portions. So please, teachers, don't cut line. Just need to wait for whatever kids are currently up there and hop on at the end of that line. Just know that students who don't order a hot meal do have the option of a salad bar or a soup, but they may not have the option of the hot meal. It will depend on what is left and if we have enough left for those people who actually did do what they were supposed to do and order ahead of time. Also wanted to let you know we will not be selling snacks next year. They will go through what we currently have in the pantry and sell those for the remainder of the year until we run out, but we won't be replenishing them once they're gone this year. And hopefully we'll get through those and then we won't have any left. If you have any questions, please refer them to Miss Odom. And don't, it's not good for anybody. You wouldn't appreciate it if people were in there griping about your class but not coming to you about it. So please show the same courtesy to others. This is also just a reminder about confidentiality. It is of the utmost importance. Information about students should be shared if it's in the best interest of that student, but let's work really hard not to poison other teachers' thoughts and opinions about a student. You can pass on the information you need to without extra commentary. So that teacher can find out for themselves what the student is like, and maybe it was a personality conflict. Maybe that child has matured over the summer. There's lots of things that can happen, and so let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt, please. Again, guys, I'm just going to ask you to please stay in your lane. I know and I appreciate that sometimes you feel like you want to take up a cause on behalf of your friend and you feel that they have been wronged, or you feel like parents are complaining and their voices aren't being heard. What you need to understand is while you may have heard 3 parents complaining for one thing, we've had 15 parents asking for the opposite. And really, what it's about is trust. We need to trust one another that we're going to do what's in the best interest of the school. If you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to come to me and ask them. I'll share with you whatever I can about the decision that was made. As long as I don't have to betray some sort of confidentiality, I'm happy to talk to you about it. I would be more than happy for you to ask questions and so that I can answer them and you can have the correct information. You'll receive end-of-year packets on Friday at the faculty meeting, but there's a few things that need to be done outside of that. If you have any repair needs for your classroom, things that need to be fixed over the summer, please send those to Catherine via email no later than May 10th. That way she can compile them, prioritize them, and she and Amber can work together to get Kenneth on those, or if we need to contract with outside people to get them in as well. We have a really busy summer moving classrooms, creating a new classroom. There's a lot that's going to be going on, we're going to be doing some work in one of the current 3rd grade rooms to split into offices. So a lot needs to happen over the summer, which is why we're asking you to please send those repair needs in now. Don't wait to send them in once you return in August, because that is too late. Any new furniture requests you have for your room need to be turned into the front office by Friday, May 17th. You can turn those into Cheryl. You will have a form in your end of the year packet to submit if you have any. The remainder of the packet will need to be turned in by Friday, May 24th. That's our work day after the last day of school. Also, please note that grades are due by the end of the day on Thursday so that we can review them, and if there's any issues, you will be around so we can work with you to work through those, and Catherine can help you with those to be corrected before report cards go out. We did discover that May 14th is International Chicken Dance Day. So on Super Fun Day, that's how we're actually going to start the day. We'd like to do it at 8 a.m. before the middle school leaves to go to Splashway. We're all going to meet in the gym and have one big chicken dance. We can do circles inside of circles. Then we'll video that, put that up on Facebook. We thought that would be a fun way to start out Super Fun Day and get everybody involved and having a good time. If you have a field trip scheduled for your class and a student misses your field trip, you need to have a makeup assignment for that child. Now, if the field trip is purely for entertainment, you're going skating, you're going to Splashway, anything like that, then of course you don't need a makeup assignment to. But if it's for educational purposes, there needs to be some sort of makeup assignment that is told to the students prior to the trip. so that we don't have parents thinking it's some sort of gotcha because their kids didn't show up. What we do is for educational purposes. Learning happens outside the four walls of the classroom. We want to continue to do that, but everybody needs to be responsible for the information that is gleaned during that trip. It can be, it shouldn't be something overly elaborate, but it should make sense and pertain to whatever the purpose of the trip was. Again, one more reminder as we head into the last, 15 days or so of school, that recess, I consider recess to be a vital part of the school day. You should be doing recess every day unless there is rain, sleet, hail, snow. Also, extremely hot days, extremely cold days, those days are negotiable. So the first few days in August, I encourage you to try to take them out. I know they turn into sweaty little puppies and they're stinky, particularly the older ones, when they go to recess, particularly when it's so hot outside, but it's good for them and it's good for us for them to have recess. And if the playground is too muddy, but the weather is still nice outside, you can always take a walk through the neighborhood, walk around the blocks, take a nature walk, walk to the cemetery and look at the dates on the tombstone. I don't really care what you do. There's lots of things we can do to get them out and moving around. Contracts, you should have these before the faculty meeting on Friday, and I apologize. It's entirely my fault. I just haven't had enough time to sit down uninterrupted to get them out. I've got all the numbers and everything. It's just a matter of punching them in and printing them out. But I'm determined to get them to you this week. Just so you know, this is what we're going to go over on at the faculty meeting. We're going to hold it in the church parlor. We will start at 1:10. Sasha Burns has the new insurance information for you. I don't want to steal her thunder, but I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. We'll also receive our end of year packets and master schedules for the upcoming year. I do want you to understand, though, that this schedule is pretty set. Unless there is some sort of problem that we haven't picked out in the last 8 weeks, this is what it's going to look like. The schedule is very, very tight. Because we have a lot of special teachers that don't work full time, it just makes for a tight schedule, and there's only a couple of ways that we can get everybody in where they need to be. Also, at the faculty meeting, we're going to discuss parent conferences and what they're going to look like for the 1920 school year. Discuss the outlines for school clubs the upcoming year, and then we're going to do a gallery walk so we can gather opinions and ideas, and then we'll break out and discuss dress code, the retesting policy, discipline policies, ITBS schedule, and maybe a couple of more things. That's all we have. I look forward to seeing you at the faculty meeting on May 3rd. Thanks for listening.